Shem Rachakodash, Yahweh in the name of the Heavenly Father, whom this world ignorantly calls God, the Holy One of Israel, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well. And peace and mercy to the house of David, those men that are doing his work in sincerity and in truth across the four corners of the earth. And much love to the 130 believers out there doing this work, believing in the Bible with all sincerity, humility. All right, so you always say shalom and greetings, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. All right, so what we see here is a bag of ice. Simple as that, a bag of ice. You know, some of it's melted, but a bag of ice nonetheless. And I was talking with the brother Quadash from the camp, you know, and through the Spirit, you know, you see things differently. Matter of fact, let me get that scripture. Bear with me. I'm about to get it. This damn apps. That's through. Oh no, that's what it says, she. Hey, that's why. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 14. It says, whoso seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall be quickly without care. For this is the point, for she goeth about, verse 16, for she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her, showeth herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought, right? So wisdom meets you in every thought. Certain things you think about, wisdom is going to meet you there, right? So we saw this bag of rice, and I started talking to him. I said, bro, do you understand the quality and the price of this in the time of Jacob's trouble? And you know, this is a real question, because something like a bag of ice can be the dividing factor between a household. It can be the dividing factor between a man and wife. It can be the dividing factor amongst father and son. Matter of fact, let me get this scripture real quick. This is Matthew 10 and 34. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. You see, so the Lord is making a variance. He's putting a division amongst people. And a bag of ice may be something that's considered low level now, but they're going to take that that bag of ice very, very seriously, right? And why? It's because this is ultimately water. So I was talking to the brother, when you watch, I'm not going to put it on here, but when you watch the book of Eli, I said to him, I said something like, you know, he still got away, but at the end of the day, you got to realize what the guy said when he walked into the bar. He walked into the bar, he said, can I get some water? He said, oh, you're looking for the good stuff. That's what he said to him, right? And of course, he was looking for the good stuff. He wanted the water. But this is how you know how valuable this is going to be in the times to come. People are going to be and see this bag of ice? Men are going to kill each other for something like a bag of ice. Because that water, that purity that comes in it, you know? And a lot of things are going wayward. A bag of ice is going to cause men to fight against each other. Let me start with this. This This is 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their power or action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. I've been seeing a lot of grown, tall, big men crying lately. The Lord said the men shall be afraid. So how terrible is that time going to come when you see men that are afraid? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. This is a bag of ice. No pity upon your neighbor. You got a bag of ice. We need that. Right? We haven't drank in 4 days. We need that. It says, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods. They're going to take what you have, a bag of ice. This is going to be the dividing factor. They find out you got a bag of ice. This could be a dividing factor amongst you people. Right? It says, because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. And don't get it confused. Water goes along with bread. It really means like nourishment, food, sustenance. It says in great tribulation. Excuse me. So this is what's happening to people. It says because of lack of bread. So that's going to come into that water too. But Yahweh Shah is letting us know what's going on. I said I've been seeing a lot of big dudes crying lately. Let me get this. This is Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. So we're going to be seeing mighty men crying because they don't got no water, because they don't got no bag of ice. They're going to come and try to take what you got. If the spirit is not on you, it's going to be going downhill for a lot of these people. Right? The mighty men that cry there bitterly, man. I was telling the brothers, I saw this dude crying the other day. And he was like 6'5" or so, 6'6", heavy set, brolic guy, but he was like, if it starts raining, I need to get up out of here. But the mighty men are going to cry there bitterly. You see? These dudes, I saw this other dude out here crying. Men out here, somebody died. Jake just out here crying, bawling his eyes out. How much more when there's no water? How much more when there's no food? No more water, man. People are going to start going crazy. Literally. With that dehydration makes you do things. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, he said, my servant shall eat and my servant shall drink. So we're not going to have to go through that deprivation like these people are going to go through. But men are going to be out here in a terrible situation. It says that day is a day of wrath and a day of trouble and distress. A day of weakness and, wasteness and desolation. A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. So that's what we're doing. We're letting the people know about the day of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Right? But they're not listening. They're not taking heed. So it's only so long that it can go. But this bag of ice, all right, this is what's going to separate you. This is what's going to let you know who your real friends are. Right? This is Ezekiel 21 and 7. And it shall be when they say unto thee, wherefore sighest thou? Thou shalt answer for the tidings, because it cometh. And every heart shall melt, and all the hands shall be feeble, and every spirit shall faint, and all knees shall be weak as water. Behold, it cometh, and shall be brought to pass, saith the Lord. Weak as water, man. You seen the dude act like he just can't stand up. His knees are shaking. Right? Physical infirmities. We just pray your Lord Yahweh Hashem Shai heal us and help us in these dire situations, because it's about to get terrible in Babylon. Right? And people think they got it all easy, man. He said it's a time like never before. So you just got to be mindful of that, because it's about to get real out here, man. Okay, let me see here. There was something else I wanted to get. I do want to get this. Do I? I just want to read this through the Spirit. I thought it was powerful. Judith 8 and 14. For ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man. Neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. then how can you search out the Most High that hath made all these things and know his mind or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brother, provoke not the Lord our power to anger. And that's what a lot of people are doing, provoking the Lord our power to anger by being wicked, by doing what they want to do. Right? It says, for if he will not help us, this is back in talking about these times, for if he will not help us within these 5 days, he will have power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. Do not bind the counsels of the Lord our power, for the Most High Yahweh is not as man, that he may be threatened, neither is he as the Son of Man. That's true. As he's the Son of Man, that he should be wavering. These phones, man. Therefore, let us wait for salvation of him and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him. So, Lord willing, our voices are pleasing to Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. We're serving him correctly as he asked, Thanking Yahweh Hashem Yahshua all the way for his word. Let me see. There's like 1 or 2 more precepts I wanted to get. This is Amos 8 and 10. And I will turn your feasts into mourning, and your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon every loins, all loins, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the morning of an only son, and the end thereof is as a bitter day. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So this is how you know hearing the words of the Lord are far more important than those. But the unbelievers are not going to get it. But it says not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water. That's how you know there's a thirst for water coming. Why would the Lord say, my servant shall drink? It's because that thirst for water, you may think it's in there one moment, next moment it might be gone through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. So, you got to be aware of what's going on. I thought there was one more precept that I wanted. But ultimately, that's the point. A man ain't have no pity upon his neighbor for a bag of ice. So you got to tighten up your spiritual mind so that, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua can bless us and keep us in these troubling times. So, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the house of David. Until next time, Shalom.